Yeah, so who got that mission?
So we got that lead from Save Our Allies.
That's right.
Okay.
Right? I'm sure you're familiar with those guys.
Yeah, that's Chad Robachov's guys,
That's right. That's right. So we're in contact with those guys. Shawn actually sent us the mission from Save Our Allies, and it actually said a 1-year-old baby, life or death situation. So we jumped in the helicopter. We were in Rutherford County Airport, which is about 15 minutes away. The notice had the phone number on it. So I was able to call the grandma, Lisa, get her on the phone, find out if the request was still active, because by this time we'd already been on multiple missions that were, dry holes.
Yeah.
And so spoke to Lisa on the phone. She gave us the situation. Meanwhile, John's calling his counterparts on the ground and was able to get a PJ there within about 5 minutes. So again, you talk about the God moment of the angel connecting us there at the airport. His team just happened to be
same town.
In the same town at the same time, 5 minutes away.
Everything worked out the way it should have. Actually, they were flying in with the helicopter to come grab me and him at the Rutherford airport. And the people that run the airport, awesome. I forgot the dad's name, but Devin and his son, Tristan. His son's 13. He's been helping us out so much. His dad was in the fuel truck, and I wanted to hot refuel the helicopter because, like I said, the message we got, it said life or death. And so that was basically all the intel we had on it. So I asked his son, Tristan, I was like, hey, can you radio your dad? Can you do a hot refuel? And he was like, I don't think he's allowed to, but let me see. So his dad came over and he was like, yeah, we can't hot refuel. That's not allowed to do it. And I was like, I have to get this helicopter hot refueled. And he was like, what's the situation? I was like, this 1-year-old baby's gonna die. And he was like, done. And he literally just backed up this fuel truck and just started refilling the helicopter. Me and Charlie got in it as I was coordinating with my PJ Paul on the ground. And then I sent him the address. And then 2 minutes later, he's calling me. He's like, I'm here. And I was like, how are you there that quick? And he was like, I was here literally in the neighborhood, just randomly, which on the map, when we were looking at it, all the roads were cut off to it. The updated maps were saying it was completely just cut from the rivers. So I don't know how he was even there, but he was able to stabilize the baby, get it on oxygen, and just getting the vitals stable. So as we're flying in, the State Guard, SMU guys were there. The PJs started making an HLZ. We found a field. I'm looking at imagery on my phone. I'm like, we can land there, but there's power lines all around. And as we're coming in there, Mark Roseman, our awesome pilot, this isn't what he does. He flies, Gulfstreams around the world. Mm-hmm. And he's putting it down the field for the very first time in the middle of the field.
You have a fixed wing pilot flying. He's also a rotary wing aircraft.
He's qualified. No. This guy had, I think he said, over 22,000 flight hours.
Wow.
So very, very, very experienced. And he's been flying helicopters all over, but he's not used to doing a 1/60th mission. He's not dropping down in the fields and landing on rooftops. So he dropped down in that field, and we had a bunch of our SMU guys there with the baby. My buddy Byron come run out with the little, I forgot, baby crib or holder, oxygen. And car seat, yeah. And we basically just loaded them into the helicopter, took off, and we flew right to Mission Hospital in Asheville.
At the same time, we had to communicate with the hospitals, let them know we were coming.
Yeah.
We found the radio frequency. Our aircraft radio was not compatible. So we had a guy from the rear on our team actually make a phone call to the hospital, let them know that we were coming, have the doctors and nurses on standby on the rooftop waiting for us.
So as we were coming to that rooftop, Mark was like, find me a place on the ground. I was spotting in the front seat looking for an HLZ. And there was 2 helicopters parked in the HLZ, so we couldn't land on the ground. And there was one on top of the roof. And it was a little bit windy. It was very windy, a little bit of rain. And he was like, I was like, Mark, the only place you can go is on that roof. I was like, it's pretty big. You should be able to put it down. He goes, I've never landed on a roof. And I was looking at the windsock up there, and it was a direct crosswind. And at that crosswind was the top of the building for the hospital. So he was kind of nervous about it. I was like, you just got to get it down. And as we were coming in, about 10 feet above, the winds were just it was pushing us. It was real, real strong. But he got it down. Me and Charlie hopped out with the baby, grandma and mom, rushed them inside, and they had a full staff there. They had probably, 2 doctors, 3 nurses.
Nice.
And they just grabbed that baby and took it. And then we actually went immediately out to another mission. But a few days later, they got a hold of Charlie. And they sent us photos of the baby and the mom. And so the baby was alive. And then at some point, we're going to go visit them and just kind of follow up with them and stuff.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'm not a very big emotional guy. Mm-hmm. But my emotions were running very high in that mission. And then like once we actually got that baby in that doctor's hand, like I actually like wanted to cry. Like I just never, like it was hard to describe, but like it was, I don't know, it was just tugging on my heart.